In this video, I'm going to show you how to enter a new TPOT or TPITOS observation into PIDS. As a friendly reminder, before you start entering TPOT or TPITOS observations, make sure that you have set up all of your classrooms at your program and all employees at your program. And employees include people who are actually employed by the program who might be observed using a TPOT or TPITOS. Anyone, even if not technically employed by the program, who is responsible for coaching, and any person who's responsible for completing the TPOT or TPITOS observations, even if they are not employed by the actual program. To enter a new TPOT or TPITOS observation, you need to get to the dashboard first. Today I'm going to show you how to enter a TPOT, but keep in mind that the process for entering a TPOT or a TPITOS is pretty similar, so any information you get from this video on how to enter a TPOT can be applied to the TPITOS observation as well. So to get to the dashboard, I'm going to just click on the TPOT observations on this left side menu. And then to add a new TPOT observation, I'm just going to click this button up here that says Add New TPOT Observation. I'm going to start by entering some basic information, such as the observation date and some times. All of this information is available on the TPOT form that you complete when you do the observation. And you're going to find that throughout this process, that this online form should match up exactly with the TPOT that is available. So I'm going to start with my observation date, and I'm going to go ahead and just complete this just so I can show you. So you're going to do date and time. The next section is classroom, and this is why it's so important to set up your classrooms and employees first, because this is all based off of a drop-down menu. So you're going to select the classroom that the observation was done in, as well as the observer. And then you're going to go ahead and enter number of adults present at the beginning and at the end, and anyone who entered in the middle, and the number of children present at the beginning and the end. After you have all that basic information in, go ahead and save it. This is going to bring up some additional windows to complete in order to save the full TPOT observation. So you can see my basic information up here. I'm going to scroll down to get to TPOT participants right here. To add a new TPOT participant, I'm going to click that, and this is where I note which teacher was actually being observed. Again, it's a drop-down menu, so you're going to select the teacher that was being observed, and you're going to note the participant role, which will usually be the lead teacher. And then you're going to go ahead and save that information. Once that's saved, you can actually go through and start entering the actual information from the TPOT, the different scores. It should look exactly like the form with the different item descriptions or categories such as schedules, routines, activities, transitions, and so on, as well as the number of yeses and number of nos. So you're going to go ahead and put in the correct numbers for each one of those categories, the number of yeses and number of nos. And then the next section is red flags. So this is where you're going to put in the number of red flags, the number of yeses and the number of nos. And then right below it, you will select which red flag or red flags were observed during the observation. So I noted one red flag up above, so I should have one box checked down here. When I scroll down a little further, I'm going to get to the last section, which is the using effective strategies to respond to challenging behavior section. And this is where I'm going to put in the number of incidents, as well as if the essential strategies were used in each incident, so that's a yes or a no. And then I can also note the number of additional strategies that were used. Below, I can check which strategies were used during the observation. If no incidents of challenging behavior were observed, I'd put a 0 here. And I would click on NA because there was no opportunity to see these strategies since there was no challenging behavior. I would also put a 0 in the number of additional strategies used because, again, there was no opportunity to use the additional strategies. When I have all of that information in, I'm going to go ahead and save it. Once it's saved, you can see it right here. And then if you need to change something or delete it, you can always come over to Actions and then click on Edit or Delete. And that's how you would enter a TPOT or TPITOS observation into PIDS.